Hello and welcome to the Experiencing Love podcast. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. Today I'm left at a little bit of a blank on where to start the episode. I feel as though these past few days have been very similar. They've been very similar in the way that I've been doing the same things again and again, just putting in that work, putting in that effort that I need to put in. I'm learning a lot and I'm trying things out, and I know that for me and my growth, I am taking 1 step, 2 steps every single day. And it doesn't seem as though I'm getting very far, but eventually I'll win the race that I'm on. Eventually I'll make it to the finish line and I'll know that I've won. But you can't win the race without taking the steps. You can't sit at the start line wondering when the finish line is going to appear. So I'm just taking the steps day by day through the dramas and traumas of life and creating something new for myself. One of the things that have helped me keep going through this all, through the pressures and through the stresses, has been to stay in a peak state, to stay in a great mindset, driven to keep going. As with many things, the results don't show up in the beginning. Maybe not in the way that we want them to. You know, if it's something like starting to eat healthy or going to the gym or saving money for some vacation, it'll probably take longer than you expect it to. Yet at the same time, as you put in the work every single day and you save that money and you eat that one healthy meal and say no to another, it'll take longer than expected when you start, but you'll reach your goal before you know it. So I don't know when I'm going to reach my goal, when I'm going to reach my many goals. I have a long list of them, all ranging from 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, all the way up to 20-year goals. I don't know when any of those are going to happen, but I know that I have to keep going every single day, and eventually I'll get there and look back and say, that's it? That's all it took? I just had to push past a couple of those tough times? Because I think that's something real about, our human condition. It's that we can't have the pleasure without the pain. I was reading something recently, and it was the idea of pleasure versus pain, and how if you ask someone what do they want in life, they're going to tell you all the pleasure they want in their life. And that's not really a good indicator on whether or not they'll achieve those things. But a good indicator on whether or not they will achieve a higher quality of life is if you ask them what pain are they willing to endure, what pain are they willing to experience in order to achieve their pleasure. It's all fine and well if someone wants to become an Olympic athlete, but the athlete that chooses to practice day in and day out, many, many hours a day, eating healthy, maybe sacrificing other parts of their lives like social lives or financial lives to get onto that stage, to get onto the Olympic stage, if they're willing to make those sacrifices, it's more likely that they're going to make it than someone who just has a pipe dream of, I want to go to the Olympics. So if they want to go to the Olympics, you could just buy them a ticket to one of the events and they could watch. And technically they've been to the Olympics. But if you don't want to put in the blood, sweat, and tears to achieve your goals, you're not going to get there. The amount of pain you're willing to endure is a far greater representation of the outcomes you're going to achieve. Often these days, people ask me how I'm doing. They ask me how things are going, how's business looking, how are you feeling? And I choose to be honest and tell them that it's going incredible, that I'm feeling incredible, even when the challenges pile high and I don't yet understand how I'm going to get through them. I have to say those things. I have to say I'm doing incredible. I have to say I'm feeling great and I'm loving all of this, because I know that as soon as I succumb to the pressures that are placed upon me, I could crumble. I would crumble. The thing keeping me going right now is purely state, taking care of myself, believing that I'm on the right track and knowing that I'm going to get to exactly where I'm supposed to go. It might not look like how I want it to, and it doesn't matter because I'm going to get to exactly where I need to be. It's that faith, it's that belief, and keeping myself in a peak state, a great state of mind that's keeping me going. Because I also know that I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing it for a mission to help others transform, help others create the lives that they want to create. Because I know that when you can keep a great state and you can show up at your best all the time, whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve, you can get. So when I coach, or honestly, when I even talk to strangers, I want to show up as my best self to show them that they can show up as their best self. And when they can show up as their best selves, they can do anything. When I coach, it's my job to remind someone of their best selves. It's my job to see the best version of them that sometimes they can't see and bring that out of them. Some people ask, what's the point of coaching? Or what do I even want to do? What do I even want to achieve? And ultimately, I just want to see people succeed. I want to see people filled with joy and filled with passion, and I want to see them give from that place. Because I know that I can't give to every single person in the world, at least not right now. But if I could give to 10 people, and those 10 could give to another 10, and those 100 can give to another 10 each, it just keeps growing. It just keeps growing, and eventually the whole world can be impacted. The more people that show up as the best version of themselves, the more the world shows up as the best version of itself. I want to start doing that by bringing a healthy and mature masculinity to the world. My life has been shaped by the lack thereof. And I know that it was like that for a reason. It was like that on purpose. Because now I have the experiences that I have, and I know what I want to create. I know what I'm called to create. There's so much goodness that comes out of being supported by and being guided by a mature masculine energy. That could either be someone else who embodies mature masculinity, or it could be from within you. If you're a woman listening to this podcast, it could be showing up from your mature feminine energy, because that feminine energy is what really powers, really encourages, really uplifts the masculine energy. I'm missing the word for it, but the power of a mature feminine energy can truly bring any masculine energy to its knees. Any truly powerful woman, one that embodies all her archetypes and is coming from a place of deeper connection with the world, with herself, and coming from a place of giving, from that place, has the power to absolutely bend the masculine energy to her will. Truly. If you've ever met a man that is truly devoted to his woman, or a better way to say, if you've ever met someone in their masculine that's truly devoted to their feminine, you see it immediately. You see that give and take, but you see that the feminine energy is not powerless. It's powerful. It works together with the masculine energy. I see a lot of immature energy from both sides, from all sides, really. There's a lot of immature energy nowadays. And that's okay, because that's exactly how it's meant to be up until now. And I say it like that because now that I'm aware of it, I get to make a different decision. And anybody I interact with and I may be able to teach this stuff to, they now know it and they can make a decision. So in a way, me following this journey is a declaration of, I can't change the past, but I can influence the future. I really just want to help people transform their lives towards the versions of themselves that they're meant to become. Not everyone is meant to follow this path that I'm on. Not everyone is meant to do what I do or to embrace this direction of mature masculinity, but everyone is called to do something. They're meant to become someone. Not in that way of, oh, everybody's going to be successful and positivity mumbo jumbo. It's more of that there's a reason and a purpose. The strangers you see on the street, the people you see in your favorite restaurants or cafes, or the people you walk by in the airport, wherever you are, each of them has their own life, their own story, and their own path that they're following. Imagine if every single person you walked past, or you even looked at or thought about, imagine you held the belief that every single one of them lived an entire life that brought them to that exact moment for you to see them. That's how I feel. Anytime I pass anyone or talk to anyone or interact with anyone, I think about the fact that this person in front of me has lived 10, 25, 50 years of their life and have had countless experiences, countless memories, countless moments of learning, and they've all been led to this moment, as have I. They're here for a reason, as am I, and they still have a reason to keep going, as do I. Because people don't just disappear when you don't physically see them anymore. They continue living their lives. They're on their own journey. We may not see them ever again, we may not hear from them, but they're impacting the world in their own way, creating their own ripples, their own waves, and doing what they're meant to be doing. Today was one of those interesting episodes where I had no clue it was going to go in this direction. And well, I'm not mad about it. As I've said before, this is just a place for my lover to come out. This is my lover's playground. This is how I stay in touch with my lover. Growing up, my lover has been the most powerful part of me. I was always labeled a sensitive kid, but I now see that it wasn't sensitivity in the way that I thought it was. It was just a deep connection to my lover. experience the world deeper than the people around me. It was easier for me to get emotional. It was easier for me to feel. It was easier for me to sense the energies around me. Back as a child, I didn't know how to take all that information in. It overwhelmed me. Now I see that it was one of my greatest superpowers, and still is to this day. My ability to feel and my ability to connect, not just with the world, but to myself. It's so incredibly powerful. I am who I am, and I have zero doubts and zero regrets about who I am and how I've gotten here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you so much for creating the impact on the world that you do. The world truly would not be the same without you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.